refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of BWT. I'm your host, Teddy, and today we've got a great show lined up for you guys. We got a couple guests to recap the Red Sox and Yankees over the weekend in Fenway Park. How we doing, fellas?
Doing good, man. Appreciate you having us on. Obviously, some big news went down. But aside from that, I'm blessed, man. I'm having a good day. So,
yeah, I mean, if we're talking outside of the topic that we're going to talk about, I'm doing fine. But other than that, not feeling too happy at this moment. So, you would think after what happened in these series, we should be fine. But we all know what happened. So. But I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be back with BWT because now I'll get to run these numbers up and beat Jovan in the baseball category that he won the last 2 years. So, I'm ahead of the race right now. So just me being on is just going to continue that. So I'm good. I'm good.
I like that. Some competition.
Yeah. Before we get started, I want to make sure that you guys are liking this video. Subscribing to the channel so you do not miss out on any other videos that will be dropped, and also subscribe to the rest of the network. Refuse to Lose. We've got plenty of shows that talk about multiple different sports. We've got CTC, Call Talking College, covers college basketball and college football. RBO, Real Ballers Only, with Vaughn, that is an NBA show. We got Dave's Doghouse. Tell us a little bit about your show, Dave.
Yeah, so I just recently had a show. I basically just talk about the highlights and lowlights of everybody in sports. It doesn't have to be an actual player. It could be a coach, owner, GM, interpreter. It doesn't matter. If you're involved somewhat in sports, or you were in a case of somebody that's involved in sports, then you can more than likely be here. If you do a great job, you'll be a dog of the week or the big dog. But if you don't do too well, then you're going to be in the doghouse. So that's Dave's Doghouse for you.
Yep. And then we have Unfazed with Joe and AJ go live every. Well, they've been mixing it up a little bit. They've been going with the NBA Finals games. Those are two of the top debaters in the network. So make sure you guys are tuning into their show. And then we have FFC Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs as a fantasy football show. He's the fantasy guru of the network. And then we have In the Red Corner, that is a boxing show with Ty, Ricky, and Tomo, strictly boxing. So make sure you tune into that. And of course, we got the main show, Refuse to Lose. That is the sports center of the network, covers all sports. They go live every Tuesday and Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click the link in the description and you'll be able to find the link to their shows, and you can just subscribe, show the network some love, and we will have you covered for the rest of time because I don't see us going anywhere anytime soon, right? Um, so today we are going to let's shout out to my boy Carl on the road, tuned in. Be safe, my boy. No, he was doing a lot of traveling this weekend. Um, so let's get into this series. Um, Yankees Red Sox game one. We got Ryan Yarbrough going up against Garrett Crochet, and in the bottom of the second, Rafaela hits an RBI single to get the scoring started to go up 1-0, and then Aaron Judge connects for a solo home run off of Garrett Crochet for his 26th home run of the season to tie it up at 1. And then in the bottom of the 10th, Carlos Narvaez hits an RBI single to walk it off against the Yankees, his former team. Ryan Yarbrough goes 4 2/3, giving up only 4 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 3.96 ERA on the season. And Garrett Crochet goes out for 8 1/3, giving up 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, and a 2.24 ERA on the year. They both got the no decision. Whitlock got the win, improves his record to 5-0. 3.12 ERA on the year, and Tim Hill gets the loss, making his record 3-2 with a 2.67 ERA. What are your thoughts about Game One Friday night? Jovan, we'll start with you.
I thought that was a great game, but I mean, it had Red Sox loss written all over it. If I'm being honest with you, 1-0 game, close game, very tight all the way to the end. And when usually we get to the extra innings, we've been taking the L's. So I was excited to see that we actually came out on top with that big ball off the wall from Carlos Narvaez. Shout out to the Yankees giving us Carlos Narvaez. I think that was a huge pickup, and I think he's actually going to be a really great catcher for years to come. So.
Yeah, those were pretty much my exact thoughts. I was going to talk about is more about Carlos, doing what he did to help us win that game. Because I forgot that he was given to us in the trade. I honestly forgot how he got on the team. So that was actually a big win. And honestly, I just, outside of what we've seen from Crochet, the pitchers after him have not necessarily been that well. So to see the pitching starting to play a little bit better, it's a little bit promising, especially what we've seen before the last week or so of how the team has played when it comes to like close games or games going into overtime. We normally lose those games. So this was a bright spot to see in game one.
Extra innings, not overtime, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry.
This was a great game. It was exactly what I thought I was going to see out of Garrett Crochet. He's one of the top guys in the league. As I predicted earlier in the season, well, before the season even started, I picked him for Cy Young. Yarbrough, he definitely pitched better than he did last weekend. Last weekend, you guys roughed him up a little bit in Yankee Stadium, and that was unlike him. His previous starts before the Red Sox start, he dominated the Dodgers offense, keeping the top 4 guys hitless throughout the game. And then he goes to Yankee Stadium against the Red Sox, and the Red Sox roughed him up. And I was glad that he was able to bounce back and have a good quality start. But Red Sox take game 1 of the series Friday night. Then we go to game 2 on Saturday. We got Carlos Rodon going up against Hunter Dobbins. In the bottom of the first, Carlos Narvaez hits an RBI single to make it 1-0. Bottom of the fourth, Trevor Story hits an RBI double to make it 2-0. Bottom of the fifth, Romy Gonzalez hits an RBI double to make it 3-0. Then in the bottom of the sixth, Marcelo Meyer hits a sac fly to make it 4-0. And in the top of the seventh, Jason Dominguez hits an RBI single to make it 4-1. And then Austin Wells hits an RBI single to make it 4-2. And then Dominguez just forgets that there's 3 strikes in a count and 3 outs in an inning. He dozes off. Carlos Narvaez picks him off at second base. He said after the game that there's no excuse. He literally just thought it was strike 3 when Trent Grisham swung and missed on strike 2. It was crazy because I like after Grisham swung and missed, I was like, damn, he missed that. That was like a very hittable pitch. And then I put my head down for a second, and then I heard the announcer say, and he throws back to second, and then I'm looking, and Dominguez is literally just like standing there, like clueless. Like I'm like, oh my goodness. And that was with 2 outs. We were threatening that inning. We had runners on first and second, Judge on deck. Like that can't happen. That literally can't happen. And then we go to the top of the ninth. Volpe hits a ground ball for an RBI to make it 4-3, which ended up being the final score. Red Sox take game 2 of the series. Hunter Dobbins gets the win, going 6 innings, giving up 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, 3.74 ERA. His record improves to 4-1. I want to say something about Hunter Dobbins. That whole story of his dad being traded away from the Yankees a couple times, and that's the reason why he doesn't like the Yankees, was a whole lie.
A whole lot.
His dad played independent baseball. Like his dad was just a Red Sox fan who hated the Yankees. Like just say that. Like you don't have to come up with a crazy lie saying, "Oh yeah, he was drafted by them and then he got traded away." Like you don't have to do that, bro. You really don't.
That's what you call hate.
It's
That's
like,
hate. He hated
I get it.
so much he came up with a random story saying that he got drafted by the Yankees or
Crazy.
something like that.
I mean, I'd like to say
It's
something
crazy.
about that whole situation as well. He claims to say that his dad told him all that stuff. And I love the line that he said. He's like, "Listen, I don't fact check my dad." You know?
Yeah.
And I think everyone can relate to that.
Of
If your dad
course,
tells
that's
you
your
something,
pops.
you just believe him.
Yeah.
That's your
And I
pops.
think that's kind of what it came down to. He said incorrect information, and New York reporters are gonna go in and do their homework, and they found out,
Of course, anybody
100%.
would.
They put him on the New York Times back
Yeah.
page. Like he was lying the whole time.
Hey, but he's still Jazz's daddy though.
Your
Whatever.
father was capping this whole time, man. You like, that's my pops. My pops said it happened. It happened. I mean,
Yeah, that's what it comes down to at the end of the day.
Yeah. And then we had Carlos Rodon getting the loss, going 5 innings, giving up 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 3.01 ERA on the year. His record goes to 8-5. And Weissert gets the save, going an inning, giving up 2 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, no strikeouts, 2.81 ERA on the year. That was his second save of the season. Your thoughts on game 2? Dave, we'll start with you.
Game 2, just another really good close game. I know Hunter Dobbins, even though we just talked about him, he's excited he got that win against the Yankees because, of the whole hate story that he had against them. So that was a good win. For me, it's the way I looked at game 2 was like, okay, now this is another series when we've had. I was more so looking at the distance of the last time we've actually had a winning streak of more than 3 games. That was the last time that happened was back in April. We finally have a winning streak of more than 3 games since April. So this was a good sign to see. The offense was going, the defense looked a lot better within the last few series. So this was just like, okay, cool. We got another series win, and who knows why? I mean, if whether we lose or not on Sunday, then it's okay because we got another series win against our top rival in baseball. So that's a really good sign right there. Narvaez also came up really good in the first inning with that first infield hit, the single to shortstop, and then Story came in because who's also played better in the last few times because he did not. He looked horrible the last couple of weeks, but he started to come on, and of course we know Devers was just popping almost every single game, just about for the last week or so. He was honestly the biggest bright spot on the offense. So, and then to see Mayer coming and hit a good hit was good. I didn't understand that he. I didn't. I know we're gonna get to game three, but I didn't understand why he didn't play in game three until I looked up, and there was just something about him not being good against right-handed pitchers, something like that. And I'm just like, what's
Lefties.
I
Lefties.
I didn't get it. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah, managers use well, um, they use the advantage of the ball coming in from a different angle. It's tougher to hit lefty on lefty or righty versus righty in crucial situations. Some players hit better, like you guys got a kid Romy Gonzalez or Ref Schneider.
No, Ref Snyder.
Like their batting averages against lefties are like above 300. So that's why they're platooning the young guys. And in the minors there's not that many lefties because they get rushed up through the system because there's really not many lefties in the league. So they get rushed through the minors, and then so they're normally facing right-handed pitchers as lefty hitters. So that's why. And I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. Let the kids play and figure it out. In my opinion, but I see why Cora is doing what he's doing matchup wise. So I don't hate it, but at the same time, if I was a Red Sox fan, I'm like, dude, this is the big three. Let them play. Like you've let Christian Campbell go through his struggles. He started off extremely hot, and then he had a month where he was not hot, but he played every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then he gets subbed out for defensive reasonings and for speed on the bases when he gets on in late game situations for David Hamilton. But you can do that with Marcelo Meyer and Roman Anthony. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, it's if I was a Red Sox fan, I would be a little pissed off about that, just because of the hype that was around this big three for the off season and the whole like, oh, when are we gonna bring these guys up? And then when they come up, like Roman's hitting .69 right now, and he can't find a groove. As a baseball player, you have to be able to get into a groove. And if you're sitting out every other day, every 2 days, every 3 days, like you can't get into a groove, like
Mm-hmm.
mentally and in the box. So I mean, yeah. How do you feel about that, Jovan?
Yeah, I mean, I get why Cora's doing what he's doing as far as like the matchups go. At the end of the day, he's there to make sure the team wins the game.
Hmm.
Um, but I agree from a standpoint where these guys got to go through the struggles in order to be able to hit those lefties. And we also don't know. Maybe they can hit the lefties. They're just not getting given the opportunity right now.
Hmm.
But when you have veteran guys like Ref Snyder and Romy Gonzalez sitting on your bench that can hit lefties, it's kind of a no-brainer to have them start that day. And Yarborough and Carlos Rodon, they're monsters, to be honest with you. So when you got to face those two guys, and then you got Freed as well, it's understandable why Corey doesn't put them in those situations. His job is to make sure that the ball club wins games. So, I mean, hopefully in the future he gives them a little bit more of a leash, and we can see what these guys got. But at the same time, from looking at it from Corey's perspective, I don't. I'm not mad at him for it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of sort of my understanding of the whole thing. Because I think I had asked Teddy this in the chat. A couple. I know Teddy actually just bought it. He bought it up, and I was just like, "Why is that the case?" And he explained it to me. I was like, "Well, that don't make sense to me," because that's like a basketball player coming in, like a rookie coming in who's been hyped about because he was playing so well in the G League, and they bring him up to come up and play. And, his first couple games, he's playing about 20 minutes off the bench, 20 minutes off the bench. And then he goes and plays a team like Houston, and then you want to give him 5 minutes in the game. I'm like, what? He ain't going to have no rhythm. You put him in for 5 minutes. You got to give him an opportunity to get out there and make a mistake and show you that he can fix those mistakes. You don't just send him out there because you have other people that's in better position to do it. I mean, I understand that you want to win the game at the end of the day, but you also want to be able to groom your player to let them know that you have trust in them and to know that you're going to allow them to be able to grow during the game, because the G League, yes, is there to help develop them to be able to be the NBA. But now when you're in the NBA, it's different from being in the G League, just like how it was being in the majors, is totally different being in the minors. Roman Anthony was killing it in the minors. And that's why there was so much hype around him, because it was like, look, he is too good to be in the minors. Bring him up. And now that he's up, you're not really using him as much as people would think that you would, because he's so hyped about. And now he's just sitting on the bench if he's going against lefties. You're not allowing him to be able to show you that he can hit against lefties, even though the stats may prove that he can't do it. Stats don't always tell the truth. Y'all know that. So just allow them to be able to get out there and hit.
Yeah. We go to game 3. Red Sox going for the sweep. Got Fried going up against Brian Bayo. In the bottom of the first, Trevor Story hits RBI single to make it 1-0. And then the last hit of Rafael Devers' Red Sox career is a solo home run for his 15th home run of the season to go up 2-0. Yankees lose. They get swept in Fenway, which is absolutely terrible. Brian Bayo goes 7 innings, giving up 3 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, 3.49 ERA. His record improves to 3-1. Fried gets his first loss after a Yankees loss. He was 7-0 with a .89 ERA before yesterday. He goes 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. His ERA goes to 1.89, and his record goes to 9-2. Whitlock gets the save. He goes an inning and 2/3, giving up no hits, no earned runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, and a 2.97 ERA for the first save of the season. Trevor Story's hit was kind of BS, broken bat, like jam shot. When I saw that hit go up, I'm like, all right, that's caught. And then it just kept traveling and traveling and traveling. I'm like, wow. And then Devers' home run. Like, I've been living in Boston for so long. And I don't think I've ever seen a home run hit that flat part of the Green Monster. Jovan, have you? Like,
No, I haven't. Definitely bizarre, but I
yeah.
mean, it got over the wall, so
Yeah.
that's all
Yeah.
we care about.
Yeah, I guess. So I mean, Fried definitely pitched good enough to win. Yankees offense just didn't show up. Um, One guy who didn't show up was Aaron Judge. He played like absolute crap this weekend, and I will be the first one to say it because I'm always the guy hyping him up. He went 1 for 12, 9 strikeouts this series.
Yeah, and the only one he hit was a home run.
Yeah, that was game 1. Yep. And then he grounded out into 2 crucial double plays. In the 8th inning of yesterday's game, grounded out into a double play when they brought Whitlock in. I thought he was gonna get the job done because he's been clutch all year, but sometimes you just don't.
And another base running mistake from you guys as well, from DJ
Mhm.
LeMahieu, where he got picked
No,
off.
Ben Rice.
Yeah. Oh, who was it?
Ben Rice.
Oh, Ben Rice. Yeah. That can't happen, man.
Yeah.
You're in the majors. Can't be getting picked off, especially in a tight game like that. And it's just something that was spoken about after last season, when you guys were under a microscope in the World Series. It really came down to base running for you guys, and it seems like that's coming back to haunt you again this season. So I think that's probably something they're addressing, in the clubhouse, that Definitely having some talks with the guys about some of the base running mistakes.
Yeah, the one on Ben Rice, I wouldn't really put it as like a brain fart or anything like that because if you look, he's trying to time out Brian Bayo, so he's taking like those two shuffles, and then he was doing it in like previous pitches in the at bat, and Carlos Narvaez he picked it up and they actually put a play on, and when Ben Rice was taking those two shuffles, Bayo held it for a couple more seconds, and then he dropped his glove, and then that's when he turned around, but. So I wouldn't put it in the category of like bad base running. It was just unfortunate. Like I've had that happen to me where a pitcher always goes pitchers are creatures of habits, right? And a pitcher he'll hold the ball for 5 seconds, then he'll hold the ball for 5 seconds again. And I'm as a base runner, I'm like, all right, this guy's holding it for 5 seconds. I'm going at five. And then the one time that I decide to go, he holds it for 6 seconds, and then I'm picked off like that. So Ben Rice wasn't really like bad base running. It was just unfortunate. But Dominguez was definitely just terrible base running, not knowing the situation, not being in tune in the game, right? But yeah, it's definitely something that needs to be addressed in the clubhouse because that really can't happen. It's going to be the difference when we get into October baseball.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It will be.
Yep. So now that we've talked about this series, about 3 hours later, after the Red Sox are on an ultimate high after sweeping the first place Yankees, um, they get probably the worst news that they could have received. Um, I thought it was an absolute joke when it got sent in, but Rafael Devers ended up getting traded to the Giants, who they play Friday night. So get your popcorn ready for that one. Um, Devers goes to the Giants for Kyle Harrison, who was supposed to start Sunday Night Baseball. He was literally warming up in the bullpen, and then he was like, "Yeah, yo, you got traded, so you're going to Boston." And then he gets demoted to minor league ball, so he's not even going to Boston. He's going to Worcester. Um, and then they also get Jordan Hicks, who isn't having the best season. He started as a starter and then he was getting hit around. He got moved to the bullpen. He has an electric arm, but his ERA is not where it's supposed to be right now. And then you got another minor league arm in Jose Bayo, which for all we know is Brian Bayo's cousin. And then another outfielder for this stacked outfield that you guys have. You guys have about 8 outfielders. Um, James Tibb the third. He was the 13th overall pick last year in the draft, and he's the Giants' number 4 prospect. And then the Giants take on the rest of the contract, 8.5 years. They're $254 million. So that's good to get off the books, I guess. But I want to know how you guys feel. I'm gonna go to Jovan first for this one.
So I have very mixed
Good choice.
feelings about this whole situation. Um, I love the kid Tibbs. I think he's going to be great in the future, but prospects, you can never gauge if they're actually going to be what they're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But if that kid plays the way he should, I mean, being the number 4 overall pick, he should be pretty good. And just Devers, man, I thought he was going to be a Boston lifer. I thought, his jersey was going to get retired one day in the rafters. I just thought he was going to be a Red Sox guy for life. But I think this year, the way he handled the whole Bregman situation, he wasn't bought into the team's culture and kind of what we're trying to do here. He wasn't willing to play third base when Bregman went down. He wasn't willing to go to first base when Casas went down. Just kind of being a selfish guy. And it's like, you're getting paid $300 million. You should do what you need to do to make sure the team wins.
Mm-hmm.
Even Big Papi was asked before this whole trade happened, how do you feel about Devers not playing first base? And then Poppy was like, he's doing a great job at DH. But if it was me, I would play first base if they needed me to. So that right there tells you what you need to know. The guy, he's just being very selfish, not putting the team first. And if you want to win a World Series, you need everyone bought in. As Teddy knows, we play some high level baseball. If you have one guy that's not on the same page as everybody else and they're kind of being selfish, it could bring the whole team down. So I think this is just the front office saying enough is enough. And, let this be someone else's problem. And I think when he goes to the Giants, he's going to have to play first base, especially when Chappie gets back to third. So I don't know what that's their problem they got to deal with, but that's going to be interesting to see.
The Giants just picked up Dominic Smith to play first base. He's been there for about 2 weeks. So I think he's just going over there to DH. And if I'm the Giants, I'm meeting as the top guys in the organization, like Buster Posey, these guys, and I'm gonna let everybody know, like, Devers is here to DH, and that's it. Right? Because fielding, he's one of the worst fielding third basemen. He's never really played first base. Even though, like, I've seen videos of him, like, messing around ground balls before the game at shortstop or whatever. But, I mean, he can hit. He's when healthy, he's one of the top 10, maybe you can argue 5 in the game as a hitter. And now he's going to be aiming to hit the ball in McCovey Cove. And that's going to be a sight to see. That lineup is pretty good for the San Francisco Giants right now when Chapman comes back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm at a loss for words, honestly. He does look like Pablo Sandoval in that Giants uniform. I will say
that. He does look like the panda bear. He does. Not gonna lie.
Popeye's chicken.
Man, look. Now that you finally got to say what you got to say, I finally get to talk about it now. Jovan and Teddy, I don't know if y'all heard this, but I'm hearing 2 different sides to this whole drama. So the first thing I heard was that a source close to the situation said that it was an unsalvageable situation for both parties. Probably so. I mean, we all saw the anger he was when we traded for Alex Bregman and moved him to third baseman, and he was just like, "No, I'm the third baseman." And then we heard, yeah, exactly. We heard about that. Then he continuously called out the GM for not making, I guess, smart decisions in his eyes, saying that they need to, make a decision. They need to stick with what they're talking about. So he was calling them out publicly. He was doing that. They said that he was frustrated from mixed messaging from different voices in the organization. He felt like he was a scapegoat, and he felt there was disorganized communication from the jump of the year. But I also found out that when we made the trade for Alex Bregman, that he was asked to ground out for third and first baseman when we traded for him. So this isn't something that we just brought up on him randomly after we found out that the first baseman got hurt. This was during spring training where we asked him to ground out for third and ground out for first. So this is not something that was just randomly brought onto him. We asked him about this before. And instead of doing that, he declined and asked for a trade. So he asked to be traded. My problem is not that he got traded. It's what we got back for trading him. This is not enough for what this guy did within the last week. Entering Sunday, he had, and of course he hit a home run on Sunday, so besides Sunday, but he had 8 home runs, 7 doubles, 32 RBIs, and a 965 OPS in 33 games since that meeting he had with Henry. So he's been playing amazing since then. So that means you could have gotten a lot more if you're going to trade him at this time. You could have included him, and I'm not saying that this would have happened. We would have gotten this player, but you could have at least included him in the deal to go get someone like Paul Skeens. Not saying that it was automatically or that the Pirates are actually going to trade him, but that's something you offer to someone to where you're going to get some kind of value back. I mean, the first guy that you talked about, Teddy, automatically got sent to AAA, so he ain't going to be playing. Jordan Hicks, I don't know what necessarily is going to happen with him. I don't know if he's going to be in the bullpen or if he's going to start, but I don't feel good if he's starting. From what I've seen in his numbers, I don't feel good about him starting right now. And then the two prospects, like you said, we got another outfielder. Why not go get a first baseman or something like that? Go get something that we needed to help out. Go get a shortstop. Go get bullpen help. Go get someone like a Mason Miller or something like that. Go get something that's of the same value that Rafael Devers was giving us during that time. He was the hottest bat for the Red Sox over the last week or so. He's the reason why the offense was going. Of course, we know Marcelo Mayer helped out as well. Roman Anthony got his first RBI, and all the other guys were helping out. But Devers was the most important bat that we had, and now he was the offense, honestly. And now he's pretty much gone for guys that won't really necessarily make a difference at this moment. I understand the money part because we saved a whole bunch of money, saved $254 million, and honestly, this year we've only paid him about $12.8 million. So they're taking on the rest of that $16.7 million that they got to pay for the rest of the season, along with the $254 million over the next 8 seasons. So I'm okay with that. But you better be spending that money. Like don't do it. Javon, you already know how I felt about them being cheap before this season. Don't go back to what you did back then and be cheap because you want to save money. No. I hope you're going to use some of that money to go get something that we need for this offense to get going or to improve this pitching staff. Because although they have improved over this last week or so, I won't even say the last week, over this last series that they played well. Because even during the week, it wasn't necessarily that good because the bullpen gave up hits we should have won those games and without having to worry about the offense putting up more runs. Like the bullpen is one of the worst in the majors right now, and that's not something you addressed. So unless Jordan Hicks is going to come in, and yeah, I saw his arm. I know he has a really good four-seam fastball and everything, but this team better not be done, in my opinion. This better not be the only move we make before the trade deadline, because if it is, I'm not going to be happy. I'm already not happy because Devers is gone, but this better not be it because this is ridiculous. It does not look like we're focused on winning. It looks like we're focused on saving money, and that's not. I don't like that. That's what it's giving me right now. It's giving me that. Yeah. He's costing a lot, and he's a headache. You know who else was a headache? Manny Ramirez was also a headache. Well, what happened with him? We got a World Series title out of him. He was actually one of the best players to play for the Red Sox. So okay, yeah, he could be a headache, but do whatever you can to make it right for him. Like, especially if this is all you're going to get. So they better have some other move where they talking about getting somebody else. Because this is it. I'm not happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it was just between Breslow and Devers, it was just no coming back. I think when John Henry flew in, he probably had a conversation with them, probably saying, dude, we need you to step up and play another position. And he probably declined and was like, nah, I'm all set. And I bet you from that point on, that's when things were on the brisk of, getting shut down. We got to move this guy because he's not willing to help out the team in the way we need him to, especially we're paying you for 10 years. We can't expect this guy to be here till 2033 and be dealing with this every single year. Like, I get Manny was a headache, but not like this, dude. Like, Manny played left field every day. He just was, said crazy stuff and did crazy things.
He was just Manny.
Yeah, he was just Manny.
Literally a
Devers,
saying, Manny being Manny.
Yeah, I get
Devers
it.
is here, and he's not. He wasn't trying to. Yes, he was hitting better than anybody on the team. Don't get me wrong, but when you have your teammates get injured and you're not willing to help fill that hole,
I agree.
You can't do that, especially when you're a $300 million guy. Like, you
I
got to
agree.
step up and help this team out. They're
I
paying you.
agree.
Your family's good. Everything is good. Like, there's no excuse for that. Like,
Yeah,
so
and you're the last person on the team that was on the World Series team. So you're technically the leader on the team. You're the guy that's seen success, and you won't make a sacrifice for the team when other people on the team are making sacrifices on their own. Like, come on, man, you can't. Are you serious right now?
I think this is also so that the young guys don't think this is how the organization is going to be ran. This is like, if you let one guy do it, then all three of these guys are looking up to this guy, and they think they can do it too.
And I'm 100% with that. My thing is, this better not be all that there is. This can't be the only move you make in this position, because you're basically saying that you don't think that you're going to be able to do anything this season. That's what that's what it looks like to me.
I think our best thing that we could do is probably go in and reconstruct Bregman's jail now and be like,
oh no, he's probably gone. Don't forget, he can opt out.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Let's reconstruct that deal now and give him the money he wanted at the beginning of the offseason, right? He wanted that 8-year deal, that 7-year deal for X amount of dollars. Let's go in and let's give him that money because we have it now.
Hey, he's a Boris guy. You know he doesn't do any talks during the season, so you're gonna have to wait for the off season.
Yeah,
it better be something.
But he's also injured this year, so he's probably gonna opt back in for another $20 million contract. Why wouldn't he?
Maybe.
Unless someone else is gonna.
He might believe he can get more.
But how would he get more? He didn't even play this year. He's coming off a Gold Glove season when he got his contract.
Players better themselves all the time. We see
it, but it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense from.
I'm not saying it does. I'm not saying it does. All I'm saying is he has that option. He can be like, nah, I can get more money somewhere else. And look at who his agent is.
Yeah.
You don't think his agent will be able to pull some strings? Like, nah, you can pay him more than that. You can give him $25-30 million a year. I guarantee you, it's Scott Boras. Come on now.
And the production that he had when he was healthy.
Exactly.
He was one of the top guys in the MLB.
Exactly. So he's going to talk about that. He was like, yeah, I understand he got hurt, but this is what you're getting when he comes over there. He's one of the top bats in the league, especially at his position. Like, you can give him $25-30 million a year.
Yeah.
So he's going to be looking for that. And my thing is, I'm not upset that we traded him. It's what we got back. We didn't get much back for him. This is Luka Doncic-esque when you look at this kind of a trade, because you didn't get much back for him, and we didn't get any picks. Of course, and I mean, picks don't mean much in baseball, honestly. So it's just mind-boggling for me that this is all that we got. No, he's not going to Detroit. You had your chance. You lost.
Dude, but the amount of money that we just saved, we have to go out and get some guys. And I think we're going to go out some more starting pitching.
We better.
I think when Breslow came into Boston, he looked at Devers' contract and probably wanted to throw up. He's probably like, this contract is terrible. The fact that Buster Posey went ahead and took the whole thing on.
Probably
did. That entire contract.
Didn't we talk about this contract when it first happened? And it was 2023 or something like that, 2022, 2023. We talked about this, and I was like, I don't like the fact that we paid him that much, but I like the fact that he stayed. It was a crazy contract back then.
We only paid him that much because the fan base is so upset about Mookie getting traded. So, and Xander Bogaerts also getting traded as well. So when you have those two guys, the faces of the organization, they're like, we need to figure something out and pay somebody. So they went ahead and dude, Chaim Bloom was about to get freaking kicked out of town if he didn't sign someone.
Well, so they might talk about him getting kicked out of town if we don't do nothing now. We've given the who was the face of the Red Sox is now gone, and he's with the Giants now. So now we got to see what else is going to happen. What else is going to happen? I'm telling you, we better make this better not be all that we do before the trade deadline. That's all.
You guys will do more. You guys are gonna trade away Jaron Duran.
No.
I think so.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's Durant. I think it's going to be Willier, to be
I
honest.
think it's
For
Durant.
what?
I think it's Durant.
Some pitching, probably. Something. But
I think
I
it's
wouldn't be
Durant because
surprised.
he's more of a complete player.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, dude.
Why would you not want to keep the guy that's a complete player? That's oh my gosh.
This is definitely not going to be the last moves made. But I think hopefully at this trade deadline we pick up some big guys and we figure it out, man. But I want to see how we play without Devers in the lineup. Do we play better without him?
Another thing that I'm thinking about as well is how is this going to look at for other players? How are they going to look at the organization, seeing how we treated this whole Devers situation?
They all know, man.
Especially
They
when it
can
comes,
ask questions
especially when
every
it comes,
single day.
especially when it comes to free agency. Do they feel like my thing is, are they going to feel like Devers was an a-hole in this whole situation, or the organization could have handled this a lot better?
I think they know Devers is the a-hole in the situation.
Yeah.
Everybody knows, dude. In that clubhouse, you have to know. You have freaking Abraham Toro playing first base.
Yeah, I feel like it was a
literally
combination
bring
of both.
Yoshida back up, and he could be the DH, and Devers could have been playing first. Or when Bregman went down, he's been taking ground balls this whole time. Like, he could have went back to third base when Bregman went down.
Mm-hmm.
He's clearly the bad person in the situation. And I understand why the front office did it, but it doesn't make it feel any better because we know how great of a player Devers is. You know,
yeah. I understand how great he is. My thing is just we didn't get much back for him. That's my biggest issue.
I think getting the salary paid for, dude. Getting the salary
That's
paid
huge.
for. That's
huge.
Like unheard of. Usually we'll have to at least pay half of it or something along those lines. Like for Buster Posey to say, you know what, we'll take on the entire contract and we'll give you 4 guys too on top of it. I think we made out pretty good, to be honest.
I mean, the Giants have been fishing for a guy for quite some time.
They didn't get Judge. They missed out on Judge. They missed out on Ohtani.
Soto.
They're itching to spend money. So
yeah, their best signing last year was Adames, and he's just now turning it around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was.
I wish we would have traded for Logan Webb or something. Like, man, we just need some freaking pitching help.
I'm sure they tried. I'm sure they tried throwing names around and stuff. But probably getting him off the books was the biggest thing, you know?
Yeah. Joe said, I'm shocked he got traded.
You ain't the only one. I'm shocked that he got traded at this moment.
I'm just shocked at the return. I feel like you guys could have went and got that kid Bryce Eldridge, the Giants' top prospect.
Yeah, for sure.
That kid's a stud.
Teddy,
that kid's a stud.
I said Logan Webb first. I was about to bring him up next because I was like, I heard about the number one prospect they got. Why we ain't gonna get him? Like, come on, man! Like, you didn't get enough back for what you gave up. I understand that you don't have to worry about that money anymore. I understand that 100%. You basically saved $300 million. You basically saved that. But come on.
Yankees would never, Joe. Yankees would never trade the cap, man. Come on.
But look at Judge, dude. He's willing to do anything for his team, dude.
I know, yeah. There's a big difference.
He'll play right. He'll play DH. He'll do whatever it takes.
He's a model citizen when it comes to being a baseball player. He's a leader.
He's the guy that deserved his contract. He can talk to the media as well. Devers can't even talk to the media, dude. Like, and he's just like, it's like you're paying this guy $300 million, and he's supposed to be the face of your franchise if you're paying him that much money. And he's just one of those guys. And on top of that, you're only paying him to DH. So it just doesn't make sense from a money standpoint. If you're gonna pay somebody, it should be a guy like Bregman. You pay him big bucks, and he helps out all the young guys. He showed that during the spring training. He took additional trips to like bus rides. He jumped on the bus ride. Usually the major league guys don't take the bus. He did that for the big 3 to kind of like take them under their wing. You don't see Devers doing that kind of stuff, you know?
He can't talk to them. He needs his interpreter with him.
That too. It's like It makes sense. It makes sense. I understand why this whole thing went down. It sucks that it had to go down, but I mean, it is what it is, man.
I'm just highly upset at what we got back. That's my biggest issue. It ain't that we traded him away. It's just that we didn't get back enough.
I have to say though, if we use that 270 mil and we bring in some reinforcements next season, I won't be mad. So like this is something I got to give time to decide if I'm mad about it or not yet. This next upcoming free agent class next year.
Man, you should be
if
upset.
that goes by and we don't do anything.
But I think both of us had us finishing second in the division right now, and right now that's not where we are. And if we finish the rest of the year missing the playoffs again, I'm not happy. I'm not.
I agree.
Sorry. I'm not happy.
Jovan had them winning the division.
Yeah, I did.
Either way, we had all of us had the Red Sox top 2 in the division and at least making a wild card this year. I don't see how that happens now. Like I said, I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens, of course, throughout and see how we play without Devers now. But this is just crazy that we didn't get something back that we can use at this moment.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely a big hole in the lineup now, but you got to hope that, Roman Anthony can step up and fill those shoes.
How is that going to happen if he's not going against left-handed pitchers?
At
we
this
just had that conversation.
Gotta let him
I just don't see how it's going to happen now. Because you making sure him and Marcelo don't play against certain pitchers. Like it's kind of like, well, why are they out there if you're not going to have them out there the entire time? It's just whatever.
I wonder if they let everyone know that this dude was up for grabs, though.
No, they didn't. They didn't. They didn't chop him. They didn't chop him. They hit up Buster Posey. They hit up Buster Posey, and Buster Posey, he did what he had to do to make it happen.
It was like I said, if this was basically Luka Doncic-esque, because what did their GM do? He went and talked to Rob Pelinka. He ain't talked to no one else. He talked to Rob Pelinka, and that's it. And he made that move.
Yep.
You know what it is too? I think Andrew Bailey got ties with Buster Posey.
Yep.
Also, Breslow's cool with them too. So he's like, you know what? Let's help this dude out.
Yep.
1 and 2. He can help us out by getting this money off our books.
And if you look at it, I know I keep saying this, it's the Luka trade, but it really is, because what did Luka get traded for? Is because he couldn't play any defense. And now if you look at it now, it's almost the same thing. Devers is horrible defensively, and he got traded away. Like it's too many things that make sense. And
he's out of shape.
And it's really pissing me off right now.
It looks like a
donut. But you know what's funny?
Exactly. It's really pissing me off right now. It really is.
What's funny is what we got back in return is kind of like a slap in the face to Devers too, which is I love it because it's kind of like they were just like, yo, we want to get rid of you so bad, like we don't even care what we get.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Like we just need you out of our hair. And
at least Dallas got Anthony Davis in the deal. At least somebody that's an NBA champion who can play defense. We ain't get that back at all.
Yeah.
I hope that Crochet goes up against the Giants this weekend.
I hope so too.
That'd be nice, dude.
Devers versus Crochet would be a movie.
Must see TV.
Yeah. If we thought Judge and Crochet was good this weekend, that's
even better.
Yeah.
Especially Devers can handle left-handed hitting.
Exactly.
Pitching,
especially at a high velocity. Yep. Exactly. Just Friday night, make sure you load up FanDuel and put Rafael Devers home run, because you know it's gonna happen. I don't care who's pitching.
I love the fact that we're playing them so soon after this too.
Oh, that's gonna be crazy. Oh man. And it's in San Francisco too.
Exactly.
So it's late night. Everyone, oh man.
They said that they haven't had someone with 30-plus home runs in their lineup since Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy.
That's why they were going out for these top guys for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, they haven't had a guy like that in a very long time. So they was like, yeah, we need to go get something. So
and they went through a whole
15 right now. So
and they went through a whole dynasty, winning 3 of 5.
Right. Crazy, man.
Their best hitter was probably Buster Posey.
Yeah. Crazy.
They've always been like
Crazy
a
you said that.
pitching heavy
Yeah.
team.
Oh,
Madison
yeah.
Bumgarner
Yep.
was an animal with them.
He
Yeah,
was. That
I think he
weird,
had 3. I think he
that
had
weird
3
hitch he
championships.
had. That awkward hitch he had when he used to pitch. It was so funny, man.
Yep. And then Tim Lincecum too.
Tim Lincecum was nasty, dude.
Can't forget about the freak. Can't forget about the freak. He was
Mhm.
gross.
He was, dude.
But yeah, man. If you think I'm happy, I want to give a call to Garrett Cole, see how he's doing, man. Because Garrett Cole's got to be the happiest man on the planet. You don't got to face him no more. All right. Coming back from Tommy John, he probably has like 2 years left on Garrett Cole's
No
life
bull.
in the baseball world, bro.
No bull.
Dude, that's the
He's
thing that
probably,
sucks is you know how good he is.
probably
in the
the most
playoffs.
excited Yankee right now.
Oh yeah.
You know how good he is in the playoffs. Like that's what kills me is like the dude is an animal in the playoffs. Like
He is. He turns up to a different level.
And he
And
and,
that's
he,
hard to
and the thing
find.
is he's really good against the NL West. He in 33 games he has 10 home runs, 21 RBIs, and 30 hits against the NL West. So he plays pretty well against them. So
I'm
now
so glad that
now this is home.
I'm so glad that that's the Dodgers' problem now and not the Yankees.
Yep.
But we got to talk about Rafael Devers, Mookie Betts, Babe Ruth, all traded by the Red Sox. Absolutely insane. Just, I'm going to leave that there for you guys. I'm going to let it marinate a little bit. And I'll see you guys in the chats because that's all we got for you guys today. You guys got any last words?
At least we swept the Yankees in this process. That's all I can say. At least
I
we
don't
swept
care.
the Yankees.
I don't care. Devers
And
is
we're
gone.
up,
I don't
and
care.
we're up 5-1 in the series right now. So that's pretty cool. We don't play them again until August.
Yeah,
So,
I know. That they got to get rid of this interleague play, dude. Like I want to face the Red Sox the amount of times that we played them growing up. Like
yeah,
20 times, dude. 20 times. That's when the rivalry was the rivalry. Not we'll play 2 times in a week and then not again until August. Like that's just trash.
And how many? And is that just one last series in August, or is it 2 more?
2 more. Yeah.
So at the most, we're going to play another 6 games. That's not Red Sox Yankees baseball, man.
No, not at all. I think in total is because one of them is a 4-game series, so it's
So
gonna be
a total of
13 games.
13 games. All come on now.
That's not good.
No.
Especially the numbers that the Red Sox Yankees bring in. Like, come on.
Right. It's no brainer.
Did you see how it was in the first that Sunday night game? It was like 3.4 million watched the game. Like, come on, man.
And that game means absolutely nothing.
No other rivalry in baseball is doing that. No other
rivalry is doing that.
In sports.
Like, you guys thought I was joking when I said it. You guys thought I was joking when I said it. Steelers Ravens is a big rivalry, but there's nothing.
It's not to this. It's not to this magnitude. It's not to this.
Red Sox Yankees have been rivals for 100+ years. Like,
crazy.
Insane. But life goes on for the Red Sox.
And I gotta say, at least we've won 4 of our last 5 series, so that's a good thing. We won 4 of our last 5 series, which is pretty good. Won the last 3, so that's it's a bright spot. But now it's like, what else is going to be that bright spot now that Devers is gone? So
it's the young guys. We got to look to the future now.
Well, we better make sure those young guys out there going against left-handed pitchers too. It can't just be right-handed pitchers.
And we need Bregman back ASAP, dude.
Yeah, I heard he's making good progress.
Yeah. I definitely too.
So, at the end of the day,
it, Teddy. Thanks for having me on again, man. It's always good to talk sports. I mean, hopefully next time we're on, we're talking about better news than this. But yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on. It's always a pleasure jumping on BWT.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on again because I've been asking to get on VWT for a good little a week or so now. So definitely glad.
Yep. All right, guys. Appreciate everyone for tuning in, and make sure you reach out to your local Red Sox fans because they're suffering right now. And like I say at the end of the most of my shows, Red Sox suck.
Yankees suck.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.